So welcome along to LifeTech. Many of you will find that buying mobile phones is a big challenge. It's often difficult to know which model to buy, which manufacturer to choose from. Sometimes when you visit the mobile phone stores, it all seems like a bit of a maze. It's difficult to make sense of it. This is an experimental podcast, LifeTech, and what we'd like to do today is to look at some mobile phones that are out there and to give you some general pointers in terms of accessibility of those phones. So how easy are they to use as a person with albinism? So let's take a look at a few of the phones. So first up for our review today we have RIM's Blackberry Bold 9000. There are two flavours of the Blackberry Bold, the newly released 9700 Bold and this one, the original Bold 9000, which is still available on almost all of the mobile networks. So without giving you too much technical information about the phone, you can get that from the respective websites, from the Blackberry website. What we're going to do today is have a look at some of the accessibility features that might be of interest to people with albinism. Where do you find them? Okay, so first of all what we're going to do is touch the Blackberry button and we're going to scroll down until we find the little spanner icon which takes us into settings, and it's nicely labelled white on a dark blue background, good colour contrast. We're going to go into settings and we're going to come down until first of all we can find screen and keyboard. So there we are. And when we get into screen and keyboard, you'll notice that what you can do is you can change the font family and the font type as you can on many devices. Importantly here, however, what we can do is we can change the font size right up, in fact, to 14 point. So we've selected 14 point now. I'm going to save that. And what you'll see now is that whenever you go into any of the menus, so we'll go into email, we can actually see that our fonts are displaying, our text messages are displaying in 14 point. So nice large fonts, nice and easy to see and very helpful I find in using this device for work use on a day-to-day basis. Again, if we go into contacts, you'll see that the font has gone up to 14 point, again nice and easy to read. And the all-important calendar function, so if I want to look at what my day involves today, everything's displayed in nice large fonts, nice 14 point font. Okay, so that's the Blackberry Bold 9000. One other feature that may be of interest here is that if we go into the settings menu again and we go this time into advanced options, the first choice we come to is accessibility. If we open accessibility, we have the option here to change the grid layout of icons, so we can have a 4x4 or a 3x3 as I've got in this case, which reduces the number of icons on screen, makes it a bit easier to see. But very helpfully, what we've also got is the opportunity to change the colour contrast, as it's called. So we've got it set now to normal. We can choose from grayscale, which gives you this grayscale type contrast, or what a lot of you find helpful is reverse contrast. So we'll save reverse contrast and just give you a look at that. Now bear in mind that all of your menu icons, your menu options, will appear with the colour scheme that you've chosen. You'll notice the home screen is now turned white, but when we go into email, we're getting everything crisp white lettering on a black background, so again, very helpful. Won't give you too much info about the technical spec as I said, but it's all there on the Blackberry website and also available from many of the carriers. That's the Blackberry Bold 9000. So this one is the Samsung S8000 or Samsung Jet as it's commonly known. It's been around for a few months now. This one might be of interest because it's one of a number of phones that are coming onto the market with what's called an AMOLED display. These AMOLED active matrix organic light emitting diode displays, to give them their full title, these are very interesting for people with albinism and other low vision conditions because the screens produce a very vivid bright image, as we can see here. but interestingly they have lower than average power draw, so actually the battery life is improved on the phone. So in this particular model, as I say, the Samsung Jet S8000, we've got an interesting feature which is often asked about when people are going to buy mobile phones, and that is, how big can you make the text messages? So when you open a text message, how big can you make the text? And it's surprising how difficult it can be sometimes to actually uncover that information when you're trying out phones. So let's have a look. We're going to go into a text message. So just full touch screen, goes without saying. Go into the text message and we can see this nice crisp white text on a very dark inky black background. That's again a benefit of the AMOLED display. What we can do with this handset that's particularly interesting is that if we press the volume rocker on the side of the unit, what you'll notice is that the font gets bigger and it actually goes up to what would effectively be about 16-point font. So for many people with low vision, this is really quite readable and quite crisp and bright. A nice touch is that if you exit the text message and you go back in, the font parameter that you've set it at remains in the unit, so you don't have to adjust it each time you go in and out. It's really helpful. It also has the on-screen keyboard, which allows you to create text messages, and that can be done either using a standard keyboard or using the landscape, which I think it will change if I turn it around. There we go. So you can either use, as I say, a standard phone keypad, or you can have a landscape QWERTY. The font size adjustment doesn't allow you to adjust the font size on the keyboard. However, it does allow you to create really quite a nice crisp font. So it might just be that you need to hold it a bit closer, but it's reasonable in terms of size, and the contrast of course is excellent. Another thing that you can do with this phone that's particularly good is that you can customize the home screen. So you can customize the home screen with widgets, just pressing to get rid of this. Seems to have frozen for a second there. And that the customization allows you to change the home screen and to create individual home screens for different things that you may wish to do, whether that's social networking, messaging, or shortcuts to documents. So this is a quick overview of the low vision access for the Samsung Jet S8000.